Lakshmi Parthasarathy, thank you very much for talking to Sindhwani.
Thank you.
We were very enthralled by your performance of Bharatanatyam repertoire at the Sydney Dance Festival this weekend. My question to you is, how do you feel about dancing to recorded music?
Ideally, in an ideal situation, I would like live orchestra music, because you don't have to. In recorded music, at some levels, is sort of limiting, in the sense you need to know in the Sangati Vanda you have to change, so you have to kind of work towards that. But in a live orchestra, you can go with the mood. You have that interaction with your musicians, which is fantastic, which is what actually creates magic on stage. Which is it's magic. I'm not saying on stage. Every time you interact with musicians, you're feeding off their energy, you're giving off your energy, which is, this interaction is great. But that doesn't happen in a recorded music time. So you just have to be conscious when that Sangati goes, and you can't overshoot your you have to keep your emotions in check as well. So I think that's where it's challenging when it comes to recorded music.
In terms of, I asked this question of one of the other dancers, when choosing the items that you need to perform for a performance where you are, performing as a soloist, how would you select your pieces?
There are a couple of ways, but what should really matter, at least what matters to me as a dance, as an artist, is whether it moves me. Do I like dancing to it, is what I really look at. Do I like the ragam? Does the ragam move me? Do I like the content of the song? Is it something that appeals to me? Like Anjaneya and Hanuman Ramayana appeals to me a great deal. Similarly, the Meera Bhajan is something I very sort of, the ragam. I think it's to do with, first of all, the ragam has to be my, I wouldn't do a ragam that I don't like. Like I find Shanmugapriya sometimes very depressing, and I would never ever, at least at this point in time, I would say no, I do not feel like doing a Shanmugapriya. It's beautifully moving, evocative bhakti ragam, but then it's just not me right now. But maybe in a couple of years, I would say I feel like doing it. It's the ragam has to move me.
Yeah.
And the content of the stuff should be what I want to talk about.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. The other question I had was, Jen Boy, what your message is to young Bharatanatyam dancers who are learning Bharatanatyam abroad, specifically abroad. If you have any tips for them.
Just go for it, that's it. I think classical arts has to be the foundation to anything. It teaches you discipline, it teaches you focus, it teaches you single-mindedness, it teaches you devotion, it teaches you a lot of things. You just have to give it your all. It's okay. At initial levels, it is a physical discipline, which is great. Even if you just look at it in terms of exercise, is good. That those 3 hours in a week is great exercise. But I think post 25, maybe I started late. That's when I started realizing that this could be more than just physical discipline. It took me, I started learning at the age of 5.5, but it has taken me a while to realize that art means a lot more to me than just like the rigor of sweating, a sweat job,
Yeah.
So,
modern topics. One of the issues I've heard young students of Bharatanatyam always ask me is, why should it always be about Rama, Krishna, Saraswati, Lakshmi? It's so boring. Why can't we do modern items like, Romeo Juliet, or, the Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake.
Oh, absolutely. I would just look at Bharatanatyam as a tool of communication. It's up to you. If you feel like, if you'd rather talk about an Anjaneya, that's good. If you talk about a Swan Lake, that's just as good. So I think the base is to use it as a tool of communication and to just give it your all. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.